Is Evan Bouchard actually the best defenseman in the NHL right now? It might sound like a hot take, but when you start looking at the numbers, the playoff production, and what he's doing offensively from the blue line, the conversation gets really interesting. The Edmonton Oilers defenseman has quietly become one of the most dangerous players at his position in the entire league. From his elite passing to that boosh bomb to putting up historic playoff numbers, Bouchard is producing at a level we almost never see from defensemen. But does that actually make him better than guys like Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, or Zach Werenski? Today, I'm breaking down the numbers, the impact, and the eye test to answer the question, is Evan Bouchard the NHL's best defenseman? Let's talk about it. Okay, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode right here on Above Average on YouTube. Trev, thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. If you guys could quickly leave a like, let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. Drop a comment down below as I interact with every single one. And if your comment gets the most likes, I'll be giving it a shout out in my next video, which is nice there. But also, stay to the end of this video. Guys, guess who I met this week? Guess. I'll give you a second. Let's see, look at this. I met Shaquille O'Neal. How crazy is that, man? Yeah, that's sick. So if you want to hear about that, stay to the end of this video because I quickly want to touch on that a little bit. But, just an unreal week. I met Shaquille O'Neal. That's the craziest thing. I still can't get over it. But yeah, we're here to talk about Evan. We'll talk about Shaq at the end of this video. But right now, we're going to talk about Evan. So first, I'm going to list off some stats because, in my opinion, do I think Evan Bouchard is the best defenseman in the NHL? No, I don't. But I will say there's some clarification that needs to be done with Evan Bouchard because he's getting a lot of hate. I just want to take a look at the numbers. And if you disagree with me, drop a comment down below because the most common arguments about Evan Bouchard, he's a defensive liability. He sucks. He can't defend. He sucks. So I want to get into that. I'll get into that at the end of this video after I list off these stats. And then also there's that, but he's getting these points because of Connor and Leon. That's all he does. And then, I remember when people were saying that with Leon. He's only getting points because of Connor. So, I don't know. I'll get into those things at the end of this video. But first, I just want to list off some stats because this is crazy, man. What I was able to come up with was, I don't know, it might change your mind. He's an offensive talent for sure, but I don't think people realize how gifted offensively he actually is. And I'll just say this, I'll preface this. Yeah, can he be a liability at times? For sure. Which defenseman doesn't whiff on a few plays, doesn't make, a few boneheaded plays? Does he make more than most? Yes, he does. But at times, he can really hone in and play some defense. He actually can. And I kind of want to get into it now, but maybe I'll just save it to the end of the video. I'll save it to the end of the video. But honestly, I'll just say this. I'll finish with this before we get into the stats. The good outweighs the bad significantly, so much. It's not even close. He might make one mistake a game, two mistakes a game, but the grade A passes, the scoring chances that he produces is here, and then the bad, the bad stuff is here. The good outweighs the bad by a lot, and I think the analytics would show that. But first, let's get into these numbers, guys, because this is pretty insane. So among defensemen in NHL history, minimum 50 playoff games, there's Bobby Orr at 1.24 points per game. And then you've got Evan Bouchard. He's about 1.1 points per game. Yes, Bouchard's playoff scoring pace is second all-time for defensemen. At one point in a playoff run, he had 20 points through the first 2 rounds. That was the most by any defenseman in NHL history at that stage of the playoffs. Bouchard averages 0.69 points per game in the regular season, but in the playoffs, that jumps to 1.9 points per game, an increase of 0.4 points per game, the biggest playoff scoring jump in NHL history. He's also the second fastest defenseman in NHL history to record 50 assists in the postseason. So, That's unreal. And I listed off Cale Makar, the Quinn Hughes, and the Zach Werenskis of the world. Haven't really been able to see what Zach can do in the playoffs, but hopefully we get to see that this season. Cale Makar, he won the Conn Smythe that one year when the Avs won the Cup. Yeah, he was lights out. He was unreal. And then Quinn Hughes, he's solid. He's solid. But when the Oilers went up against the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, it was the Bouchard show, man. Bouchard just dummied. And I wouldn't say dummied, but as far as, the Quinn Hughes, the Evan Bouchard, he came up top, man. That was the year that he was just matching or breaking NHL records in the playoffs. And that's one thing. Like, it's awesome. All these guys that I listed, they can do it in the regular season for sure. But the one thing about Evan Bouchard, I will argue, he brings his game up a lot. The defense, it's not nearly as, the eye test. He doesn't make nearly as many mistakes, and he just shows up. He shows up, and I think those stats, obviously, that is a good example of that. He's fun to watch, man. He is so clutch in the playoffs, and he's already pretty unreal in the regular season, but that's what separates players, man. It really, really does. The good players from the amazing, great superstar talents is what can you do in the postseason? So far, Evan Bouchard, he's surpassed all expectations, and he's one of the, by stats, obviously if everything goes the way it's been going, he will be one of the best NHL defensemen in playoff history, which is crazy to think about. His shot is obviously a weapon. His mid-range and long-range shot metrics rank in the 99th percentile among NHL defensemen. Over the last few seasons, he is one of the best offensive D-men in the NHL, and in the last 3 seasons combined, he's got 204 points in 216 games. Only 2 defensemen have more, that being Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes. So, yeah, unreal talents. Obviously, he's going to be to be in the conversation of those guys as well. Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes. I don't know, man. I think at times Evan Bouchard can be right there. I really, really do. So that's a lot from last year and whatnot in previous seasons, but let's take a look at what Evan Bouchard has been able to do this season, and which has been by far, if he continues this, which I don't see why he wouldn't, it will be a career year for him. So let's start off earlier in the year, actually not too long ago. A historic single game. Bouchard had a 6-point game, 3 goals, 3 assists, something that's happened only a handful of times by defensemen in NHL history. He became the first defenseman with 3 goals, 6 points, and 8 shots in a game since Bobby Orr in 1974. Pretty insane, man. I'm sorry that's not a lot of people are doing that, and I know that's the argument. People are going to say, oh, well, he's got Connor and Leon feeding him the puck. I'm sorry, if that were the case, how come Darnell Nurse, he's out there. Why isn't it Darnell Nurse? Why isn't it Ekholm? Man, it takes unreal players to play with those guys. And Corey Perry, he came out and talked about it. It's not easy playing with them. He reads the game extremely well, and I hate that argument. Oh, just because it's he's out there with Connor and Leon. No, that's not the case at all, man. He is an elite talent. If you don't believe me, then that's okay. But I don't know what to say, man. Just watch a game. Watch a game. It's pretty obvious. He's unreal out there. Earlier this month, he became the 3rd D-man in NHL history with at least 7 goals and 15 assists in a 10-game span. The other 2, Paul Coffey and Bobby Orr. Also earlier this year, he had 4 goals, 6 assists, and a +9 rating over a 3-game stretch. He is only the 3rd defenseman in NHL history with at least 10 points and a 9+ rating over a 3-game span, joining, you guessed it, Paul Coffey and Bobby Orr. And he's currently leading all defensemen in points with 76, 8 ahead of the next defenseman, Zach Werenski. So, pretty unreal stats, man. I'm sorry, that's... I don't know. Okay, now we'll get into, do I think he's the best defenseman in the NHL? No. Because, yes, you do have to play defense. And at times, again, just watch an Oilers game. Yeah, does he whiff up the puck? Does he give it up? Yeah, but, who doesn't? I see Mattias Ekholm doing it, but because Mattias Ekholm is labeled as a defenseman, or a defensive defenseman, he will never, get called on. Be there's Mattias Ekholm, he gave the puck away. But, the fact that Bouch does it once in, a 2-game span, people will be like, oh, there's Bouch, just Bouchin. And the thing I'm getting at here is I think earlier in his career to early this season, he does go through stretches. You could say it's like 2-week stretches, maybe even a month. Earlier this season, it was about that. And I think just he's hurt himself so much when he is, maybe not playing his best. He's done so much harm to his career in that sense, to the defensive game, that there's no coming back from it, is what I'm getting at. There's no coming back from it. He is going to be ripped apart, ripped to shreds for his defensive game for the rest of his career, and there's nothing he can do. If he is perfect, if he is flawless for, 2 months, if he is flawless, no giveaways, plenty of takeaways, people won't be like, wow, look at how good defensively he's playing. But he's going to have one cough up the puck and people are like, oh, yep, no, there's the defensive, liability in Evan Bouchard. So that's just where we're at. And that's one of the most annoying things, that people are just going to hold on to that. They're going to hold on to that for so long, even though, because it's so easy to. And a lot of these people that's the narrative behind Evan Bouchard is, oh, he cannot play defense. He cannot play defense. And so people that don't really watch hockey, they're going to see this guy, they're going to hear, oh, that he can't play defense. And then it's just going to continue to go on there. So that was a very long-winded answer, but it's true. It is so true. Like there's nothing he can do. That is it. That is it. Okay. But then there's the argument as well. Like, oh, but he's with Connor and Leon. He's with Connor and Leon. And I kind of talked about it at the beginning there, but no, like Connor and Leon benefit so much from Evan Bouchard, being on the ice with Evan Bouchard. There are so many times where I'm like, okay, wow, Evan Bouchard, he made that pass, it goes to Connor Leon, goal. It all starts with Bouch. He's from the back, he does the stretch pass, and Connor Leon, boom. Or Leon to Roslovic, boom. Connor to Hyman, boom. And it all starts from Bouch. That's not Nurse doing that. That's not Ekholm. That all starts with Bouch. A lot of these plays, a lot of these goals, they're coming out of your own end. And if you don't make that first tape-to-tape pass, which, will end up being a secondary assist, that's not going in. So he's an unreal talent, and he helps out Connor and Leon than more people could ever know. Like, I'm serious. And again, it goes to the people just, oh, no, they don't really watch the Oilers games, so they don't really know what's going on. They just assume that Connor and Leon are the reasons why Bouch is getting these points. But you got to start looking at it the other way. Bouch helps out Connor and Leon just as much as Connor and Leon help out Bouch. It's that simple. It's that simple. So with all this being said, and like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, like, he's unreal. Like, Cale Makar, he's awesome in the playoffs. Quinn Hughes, he was pretty solid. Zach Werenski, we haven't really got a heck of a whole lot of him. I don't even know. Like, was he 2020? No, I don't know. Last year, were they in? Don't think they were in last year. No, they definitely weren't. Yeah, I don't know. But it'll be awesome to see what Zach Werenski can do. And again, who knows? Do I see a Norris Trophy for Evan Bouchard down the road? Yeah, I think I do. And I think that's probably my biggest gripe is there needs to be offensive defenseman award, and there needs to just be pure defense, because right now it kind of just goes to the player that has the most points, which do I agree with? No. But, I mean, at the end of the day, goals win you games, and he's helped out in that department better than any defenseman in the league. However, I will say what Zach Werenski is doing is very impressive, because I know what you mean. Like, Bouchard is passing it to Connor and Leon, and they're scoring, right? So Zach Werenski, he's passing it to who? He doesn't, and he's right up there. So if I were to had a vote, it would be Zach Werenski, who's the best defenseman, just because he's unreal defensively. He's got a great shot, good skater, smooth skater, and he's kind of just right behind Evan Bouchard in points, which is crazy because he doesn't have Connor and Leon to pass to. So it's interesting, but I just wanted to there needs to be some clarification with Evan Bouchard and just his game. I seriously believe a lot of the hate comes from people that don't really watch him. And you watch Cale Makar, his back check at the 3-on-3, the Olympics. Man, if that was Evan Bouchard, that would be headlines still. But no, it was Cale Makar. He's pretty good defensively. So, it was talked about for like maybe a day. But if that was Evan Bouchard, man, people would still be talking about it. People would just hold on to that for the rest of his career. Where it's Cale Makar, no one's going to talk about it. People have probably already forgotten about it. But that's just the thing, man. He make bonehead plays? Yeah, but who doesn't? You also got to keep in mind he's playing against he's playing against the top end talent at the coming across the ice from the other team. So there's that too, right? So all in all, unreal defenseman. I think he's a top 3 defenseman in the world. Is that bias? I don't know. I watch every single game of him, but he does things that not a lot of defensemen can do in today's NHL. He's got a wicked shot. He's got a great first pass. And his skating used to be, people talk crap on his skating. It's not bad. It's not the worst. I'll say that. So what are your thoughts? Drop a comment down below. I just did 20 minutes of talking here. Now I got to edit this bad boy. But thanks for all the continued support, guys. Really, really appreciate it. If you have made it this far, thank you. That is awesome. Leave a like. I really also, that would be dope. But guys, if you made it this far, I met Shaquille O'Neal. Also stay to the end because I got to do the most highlighted comment or the most liked comment from my previous video. I'm whipping that out right now here. So brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca, where they work around the clock for you. It's an Alberta-based company with clocks all over Canada. You want a nice big black clock like that, go check them out, www.timetrackers.ca. Okay, just quickly before I talk about Shaq, the most liked comment in my previous video, it looks like it was Old Man Jenkins. Man, this guy's the leader. I think he's got like 4 shout-outs, but congrats, Old Man Jenkins. Dickinson will help win face-off and stabilize the bottom 6. Colton Dach will bring some grit and toughness to the Oilers, and Connor Murphy is a great addition for the blue line. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's good. Old Man Jenkins, thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, if you don't know, I work for Edmonton Sports Talk. Let's go, nice hat. And my boss just like, hey, Trav, you busy Wednesday? I'm like, nope. He's like, okay, sweet. You got to meet Shaq. And I'm like, Shaq? Like, Shaq? He's like, yeah, Shaq. And I'm like, no freaking way. So long story short, I got to be part of an interview, kind of. I recorded the interview. I got to shake Shaq's hand. I'm like, what's up, Shaq? I'm Trev. And he's like, what's up, big dog? And I'm like, oh, what's up? Yeah, I'm kind of a big dog, yeah. But that was pretty cool, man. I got to be in the interview for about 8 minutes one-on-one with him, and it was sweet. Just a great dude. So cool. Man, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Like, I met Shaquille O'Neal. That is so cool. What an unreal experience. Incredibly thankful for that. But so funny. He talked about Bam Adebayo's 83-point game this last week, being on TNT now, his relationship with Charles Barkley, and then he gave my favorite player, Shaq Hyman. He gave a shout out to Zach Hyman, which was pretty cool. So all in all, just unreal experience, and so cool. I still can't believe I almost went 24 hours without washing my hand, which is pretty cool. And then before I did, I kissed my hand, and then I washed it. So there's that. But yeah, Shaq, that was so sick. I tried getting him. It was tough. It would have been tough, but I was going to try and get him to say, you're listening to Above Average, but I didn't. I was too nervous, if I'm being honest. But whatever. That's okay. So this is a long video, guys, but I'm going to wrap up. Thanks for all the continued support. Smash the like. If you like this kind of content, more coming. Keep it going, guys. Let's see. We're almost at 7K subs as well. If you made it this far, help a brother out. I want to make this my dream goal is #1 hockey channel in the whole world, maybe one day. So Above Average, let's go, baby. We're surely but slowly we're making our way. Okay, take her easy. I'm YouTube Trev. Peace. Don't be average when you can be above average.